Cheers, thanks Chair, thanks comrades, Len Hockey Branch Secretary, Unite Barts Health Branch. Just wanted to jump up here and thank everybody on behalf of my branch for the financial, moral and the physical solidarity that's been shown to my members during a titanic 10-month battle of ancillary workers in East London and Barts Health to fight for the lump sum payment. 68 days of strike action, workers who had been previously outsourced to outsource a Serco. You've got a 25-year history of being outsourced and exploited overwhelmingly. And we all know that outsourcing and privatisation is fundamentally a racist construct. Well, my members took on the challenge and fought back. And in the process, not only took on Barts Trust, but we found ourselves also running up against NHS England itself, the biggest employer in Europe, and we won. And doing that, brothers and sisters, gives me enormous pride and encouragement, but it also tells me if we can do that in one trust in East London, then where is the resolve of the health trade union leaderships to replicate that on a national scale? And I think we've talked today about the public sector pay increases, and of course, yes, for the first time we've got an above award of 5.5%. It's totally inadequate in terms of the scale and depth of the crisis that we face in our NHS. And Steve Gillan made the point earlier on that the POA's battles and struggles for their members was at one and the same time a battle for the future of the service itself. Always the capitalist seeks to divide the worker from the service user. We must never, ever, ever allow that to prevail. A fight for NHS workers' pay is a fight for our patients. NHS workers, delegation here from my branch today, we depend, our families depend, our nearest and dearest depend on the service that we provide. We have to join the queue. We will suffer. Our nearest and dearest suffer when we can't access patient care. So the fight for pay in the NHS is a fight for the service itself. And I think, you know, it's been said about the Rachel Reeves and about the MPs who voted against the child benefit cap. And of course, Starmer's decision to stamp down ruthlessly so early on in his term against them and suspend them is the voice of the ruling class, really, is it not? Saying they will not countenance, they will not accept any vestige of a voice being expressed on behalf of the millions. And they'll only have politicians with overlapping agendas which support the post-Thatcherite consensus for the billionaires. Well, comrades, does it take, as Hugo's just alluded to, much imagination to wonder if Jeremy, who talked about the rigged economy and the wealth transference, to use that medical analogy, from the poor to the rich, which privatisation and austerity is, does it take much imagine to see that Starmer, who has an inch deep and a mile wide support, only 20% that's been alluded to, if those MPs and Jeremy and the anti-austerity forces represented in this room and out with got together, could we not have a voice for the millions and not the billionaires? Well, I think we all know the answer to that, sisters and brothers. Finally, I'll end on this point. My General Secretary spoke recently and mentioned a statistic here that the 50 richest families in Britain are worth 500 billion, which is the same as half of the population. If you tax the top 1% of their net assets, that would give you 23 billion, meaning the black hole would be gone. Sisters and brothers, the situation we face cries out for an alternative. Yes, acting industrially and militantly like my members did in East London, but also politically. Solidarity, brothers and sisters.